Good morning, Nigerians. Do you think that Deji Adeyanju should continue representing VeryDarkMan in court, or Deji Adeyanju should stop representing VeryDarkMan in court? After the statement he made saying that Bola Tinubu is still going to be the president of Nigeria after 2027, that Peter Obi and Atiku and Kwankwaso should forget not contesting as the president of Nigeria in 2027. That is exactly what I'm going to be analyzing at the moment. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, like and share. My name is the man of thought, aka the villain of truth, aka the Black Panther of Nigeria. And at the end of this particular episode, I would love to hear what is your opinion. Did you think that Deji Adeyanju was actually joking, or did you think it is serious? And if he is serious making that statement, do you still consider him representing VeryDarkMan? Let's go in and analyze.
3, 2, 1.
As Nigerians proceed, everyone understands that what draws our attention for those of us in this generation at the moment is to see the possibility of making our country move forward. As Nigerians, regardless of everything that is going on within the country, there is still a possibility of hope in a lot of people. And so let's talk about Deji Adeyanju and his statement that he made earlier. But before we go into it, let us take some time and understand who Deji Adeyanju is. Deji Adeyanju tends to be a legal practitioner and also tends to be an activist in his own right. And based on the information I have, he's a Yoruba man like me. But with the name and everything, we just have to tell each other the truth regardless. And I think that is where we can have one Nigeria in a sense. He has been representing VeryDarkMan. At least when we look at the situation of VeryDarkMan going to the House of Rep, there were a few things I observed. When I looked at the statement he made, I had to take it backward to look at his attitude, and I asked myself, should Deji Adeyanju continue to represent VeryDarkMan? I'm sorry I do not like playing people's clip, but let me just give a little bit of reminder. When Deji Adeyanju and VeryDarkMan went to the House of Rep, and Deji Adeyanju decided to introduce himself, he called himself Deji Adeyanju, and I'm just trying to paraphrase. He said, "My name is Deji Adeyanju, I am the troublemaker," something to that particular statement. And then the House of Rep asked him to retract that statement. And then he made a statement like, trouble for happiness or trouble for peace, not every trouble is a big trouble. And then he said, "I apologize." And you see, when VeryDarkMan was asked to speak in the House of Rep, and in fact VeryDarkMan was threatened that if he did not speak, he most likely would be arrested. And VeryDarkMan told everybody in the House of Rep, "If I speak, let me pay here." When he became consistent and he stood his ground, they had to appeal with VeryDarkMan for him to continue his statement. And until when VeryDarkMan was appeased before he continued, he was willing to go to jail. And when we look at what is going on currently within our country, when someone like an activist called Deji Adeyanju is also representing VeryDarkMan, my question that begins to pop up in my mind is, if Deji Adeyanju can say that Peter Obi and Atiku should not bother contesting for 2027 because Bola Tinubu is going to be the president of 2027, indirectly the statement sounds like he has given hope of the fact that there is a possibility for the people to make the change. You know, there are two types of people in life: those who pray for change and those who are willing to do everything to make the change. Now I think Deji Adeyanju, with such statement, I looked at what Aisha Yusuf said something about Deji Adeyanju, and she made a statement, and here's what she said. She made an analogy saying that Deji Adeyanju, if you tend to be and you understand that the justice system is corrupt, would you say because the judicial system is corrupt, you are not going to defend a client just basically because you think that the corrupt leaders will definitely win the person? And so you are going to give up and you are not going to stand your ground and still fight? And that made me ask myself a question. If Deji Adeyanju is the one that is going to go and represent VeryDarkMan with the Femi Falana for the 500 million naira suit, there is no chance, because it's going to be telling VeryDarkMan, just appease with them, go and find the 500 million and give to them. because it doesn't look like somebody who doesn't give up. It looks like somebody who gave up before the fight even begins. When we talk of activists, the number one activist Nigerian can talk about is Baba Fela Anikulapo Kuti. One of the ones we have in today's world is someone like Omoyele Sowore. Omoyele Sowore would stand his ground, regardless of the fact that I know Omoyele Sowore is a little bit smart, take his family out of the country and do some kind of stuff and then stands around and fight, but at least he has a hope and is willing to stay in prison compared to Deji Adeyanju. And I think that if VeryDarkMan has the spirit of people who are fighting around him or who are inspiring him to keep on going, and he has someone like Deji Adeyanju, the question is Deji Adeyanju going to be very realistic with VeryDarkMan? And in his realistic mind, he might say, oh, don't worry about it, we cannot win. Or can he be an inspiration to someone like VeryDarkMan and says, continue fighting, there's a possibility, we all are in this together. And with that being said, I would think that Omoyele Sowore is a better activist than Deji Adeyanju for making such a statement. Nobody is saying that we cannot see at the moment what is going on within the country. We cannot deny the fact that things are hard. We cannot deny the fact that the president is not even listening to the people that are protesting. But we also need to admit to the fact that we made a decision one way or the other to let this particular person become the president of the country. And some of us may argue it that he did not win the election. I don't know if he won or if he did not. But I think based off tribalism, he had a lot of support by his side. And if Nigerians begin to take their time to prepare themselves for 2027, if everyone casts their votes to the right candidate, knowing that the person they want to use or the person currently as a president, it does not have their full interest in mind, if perhaps that's what they perceive and they cannot see the change between now and 2027, people should know that we have the spirit to make our choice, and let's see what is going to happen. So in a nutshell, Deji Adeyanju cannot be in the political space. There is a difference between being a lawyer. A legal practitioner, their power is only inside the court. But when it comes to the idea of facing the political system, it is a different game. And the political game is that you need a stubborn person who is willing to do everything possible to make sure they make a change. And let me bring this because there's a caveat there. I heard that there are a lot of people who are saying VeryDarkMan is supposed to start becoming president or start president for 2027. VeryDarkMan should never try it. In my opinion, he should never try the idea of becoming a president within the country. And now I know some people will say, oh, am I antagonizing? Is it that I point a finger at Deji Adeyanju and the three fingers are facing back at me? No. There's a difference between the person who has a spirit of fighting against injustice, and there's a difference between having the skill of a leadership even to be able to go into the administrative place that governs a country. And realistically, we would know that VeryDarkMan is not prepared for such a position. So regardless of how the youth rally around VeryDarkMan, I am in total support of VeryDarkMan because I know he can make a change, but not by becoming the president of the country. And realistically, we all know it. What administration has he actually handled? My advice also to VeryDarkMan would be on the situation of the very fair man. VeryDarkMan, before you turn your activism into cultism, stop anointing people. Because the day they start tarnishing the name of those other people, they would say that it is one Baba, which you are the one who anointed them, and then it becomes chaos. At the moment, whatever very fair man does today, the whole world will call the name of VeryDarkMan. And they would not call the VeryDarkMan just because very fair man tries to copy VeryDarkMan, but people would make a statement that VeryDarkMan chose very fair man. Perhaps people might even say, probably he wants very fair man to do something else. So maybe very fair man open an NGO and make money, and then he base, but the basing becomes the money of VeryDarkMan and very fair man. So you have to be careful, VeryDarkMan, on how you push things. Everybody will shout rattle gang and we need to move forward, which I totally support VeryDarkMan. But when it comes to bringing in people, just focus. Activism does not need anyone except you and yourself. And every single one of us, people like Aisha Yusuf is not looking for somebody to be like her. Baba Fela is not looking for anybody to be like him. What do they call? Seun Kuti is not looking for anybody to be like him. The idea is to raise the consciousness of the people. It is not to indoctrinate. Do not stop indoctrinating. But for Deji Adeyanju, one more question I would want to ask is Deji Adeyanju with Very Dark Man basically because of the fame of Very Dark Man, or is with Very Dark Man because he loves the work of Very Dark Man and he is an activist for himself? Whatever you think, let me know in the comment section. And do you think that what Deji Adeyanju was saying, maybe he was just joking or he was serious with that statement? Let me know in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel, like and share. Hope to see you in the next one. Adios amigos. Bye bye for now.
When you are revolutionary and you talk the truth, people will come and slap you down. Then you talk the truth again, they lock you in jail. They never hear anything at all. Then go hear pansa pansa. When you are revolutionary and you talk the truth, people will come and slap you down. Then you talk the truth again, they lock you in jail. They never hear anything at all. Then go hear pansa pansa.